Well, welcome everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Special edition this. Remember last month there was an addendum to the I Just Said That podcast. The Who Just Said That podcast was about a 10 to 15 minute vignette around the trivia questions and answers. Well, we've decided to put it on video this time. Oh, don't worry, it's still going to go up on not only this YouTube channel, which I hope you've hit the damn bell for to get every update, every like, every subscribe onto this YouTube channel, but it's also going to go up on my Patreon as well. So, without any further ado, let's get into the trivia for the month of October as I slip on my glasses here. Alrighty, number one, question one. Now the trivia for the uninitiated is one of the features that you get for your $5 a month on the Patreon, and it is based on the writings of the previous month. So everything that is here happened during the month of October. Question one. Which airline announced that as of November 14, it will be the first to conduct overseas flights out of Australia following the opening up of international borders? Was it A, Qantas, B, Virgin, C, Air New Zealand, or D, Delta? Well, Delta is an American airline. We can clip them out. Virgin and Air New Zealand have said that they're going to take a wait-and-see approach, going to focus on their domestic routes, so that leaves Qantas. Qantas will be going to the likes of Los Angeles, Tokyo, and London from November 14. Now, little fun fact, I did throw Delta in there. Can anyone guess where the most traveled or the busiest airport in America happens to be? It's not Los Angeles or Chicago or New York, either New York airport. Atlanta. And the reason for that is because Delta is based in Atlanta and they go everywhere. Now, that leads us into question two. True or false? When these flights do occur, they will be coming out of Melbourne. No, that's a bit of wishful thinking. Sadly to say, the answer is false. Those will happen later in the year. I think, perhaps those that are running Melbourne Airport and Tullamarine are taking a wait-and-see approach as to how things go out of Sydney. I know it's going to frustrate some friends and co-workers that I have that actually work at Melbourne Airport, but it's all for the best. Question three. In the United Workers Union citation of a report into safety and security records in the child care and early childhood education sectors, how many violations since 2015 were attributed to those centers run privately? Is it A, 5,000, B, 6,000, C, 7,000, or D, 8,000? 8,000 offenses and violations by those that are, in the private sector, those that have been privatized. And it's another lesson as to why privatization is bad. Question four. According to the ACTU, approximately how many secondary job holders are also holding jobs available from 3 or more employers? A, 1 in 3. B, 1 in 4. C, 2 in 5. Or D, 3 in 7. Answer is B, 1 in 4. And Sally McManus and Michelle O'Neill from the ACTU also, willingly add that on top of the number of secondary job holders being at an all-time high, so are the number of tertiary job holders being at an all-time high. Question five. Who said it? We've got a few who said it's this week as opposed to this month as opposed to last month, in which they were all who said it's. The world's battery moment is taking place right now as options for dispatchable power and are being investigated for power generation and for electric vehicles. Now is the perfect time for Australia to put some serious effort into establishing a battery supply chain in Australia rather than continuing to rely on countries like China to refine our standards. Is it A, Angus Taylor from the Liberals? Is it B, Matt Canavan from the... Please. Those are a couple of piss take responses. C, Dan Walton from the AWU. Or D, Tony Marr from the CFMMEU's electrical division. Now, so that eliminates two. Angus, not so well done, Angus. And then Canavan, go cosplay for someone else. It was actually Dan Walton. Now, this is in one of my investigations over the course of the month, where he is talking up the amount of the proliferation of lithium that is available through these natural resources in mining. When you think the mining industry is saying, "Oh, it's all bad because it's all about coal, and what is it going to do for renewables?" Well, you've also got a lot of supply of lithium as well that can regenerate, that can work for renewable batteries and all other sorts of renewable energy. Now, getting back to the second half of the questions. Question 6. When the Electrical Trades Union voiced concerns over a possible federal government move towards skilled migrant visas favored over and against training up local workers to address job skill shortages, which other union's lead was it following by approximately 7 days? A, the AWU. B, the CFMMEU. C, the MUA, that's the Maritime Union. Or D, the Transport Workers Union. See how I listed all of those in an alphabetical order? So I'm not giving favoritism towards one or the other. Answer is B, the CFMMEU. And they also, it's worth noting, the CFMMEU is also advocating for reinvestment into the TAFE system in order to help train up local workers. And the ETU wants exactly the same. And I'm pretty sure that between those two unions, they won't be the last. Question 7. If it was any other industry or circumstance, it would warrant a royal commission to the point where it would inspire the community to say, "What the hell is going on here?" Well, all of these people who I'm going to mention have connections, past or present, to the TWU. Was it A, Michael Caine, B, Richard Olson, C, Tony Sheldon, or D, Glenn Sturrell? Well, Sheldon and Sturrell can actually do something about bringing it up in Senate estimates that may lead to a royal commission. They're ex-TWU secretaries at either the federal or state level who are now senators. Richard Olson is the state representative of New South Wales and Queensland, so it wasn't him. Now, anybody who's been listening and reading any of my content on the Patreon for any length of time, you will know that it's Michael Caine, and the interview with him tomorrow or on Monday on the I Just Said That podcast, as we're recording this on the Sunday night. Yes, indeed. Staying on what was said in question 7, and this is question 8. What was that person, Michael Caine, referring to? A, the number of recent strikes in the trucking logistics industries. B, the Uberization trends towards overuse of labor hire firms. C, the climbing death toll statistics involving heavy trucks. Or D, the lack of rapid antigen testing in transport work sites. We've been talking about the road toll, so it's definitely C, the road toll. And we're going to do that interview aired tomorrow on the I Just Said That podcast in full. Runs about 20 minutes and is worth every moment of your time. Question 9. Workers at Cube have been on strike for the last 14 weeks. It'll be 15 weeks as of Monday. And it was 12 weeks at the time of reporting the story. What state ports were they striking in and over? A, Queensland. B, Victoria. C, South Australia. Or D, Western Australia. Well, the Port of Fremantle, and I did, at that time I did play a couple of seconds of Frio Heave Ho. But these are different Frio Dockers. Therefore, it's Western Australia. Finishing up, question 10. Sally McManus, Secretary of the ACTU, said the following. The pandemic has demonstrated how insecure work guts the rights of working people and denies basic protections that all working people should be able to rely on. Today we have powerful employer groups saying it hasn't gone far enough. She was referring to one employer group and one person from that employer group in particular. Who was she referring to? A. Jennifer Westacott from the Business Council of Australia. B. Andrew McKellar from the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. C. Stephen Smith from the AI Group. Or D. Wes Lambert from the Restaurant and Catering Association. Westacott is actually more, more centered than the rest of her brood, who are, on the right hand side of politics. So we can count her out. Haven't quoted anyone from the ICCI or the RNCA for some time, so that leaves out McKellar and Lambert. So the answer is C, Stephen Smith. And his comments about wanting to return to work choices should the Morrison government get reelected is a lot like his namesake, Stephen A. Smith, the sportscaster. This is preposterous. That's the trivia for this week. Hope you did well with it. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback and let me know what you think on any of the content, the trivia, the podcast, and otherwise. Hit that damn bell and you get every reminder on every new piece of content here on my YouTube channel, and the like and subscribe as well. Thank you so much, and until we do this in at least another couple of days, take care, folks.